Okay, so this is the first video, and we are gonna be setting up the camera so that it would be easy for us to match the references. And this is the website 3dscanstore.com. This is where we are gonna get our base mesh from. I'll put the link in the text file actually so that it would be easier for you to find the website. Now, I am gonna be adding the camera, and before that, yep, I am gonna add the multi-res modifier. As you know, this is gonna be a little bit out of sync because I'm doing a voiceover, but yes, I really hope that it is not gonna affect the quality of this course. So after adding the cameras, I'm gonna use the background image option and select the image. And as you can see, the image is out of proportion. So I'm just going to click on the fit frame method so that the image would just fit to its original ratio. And now we can just adjust the cameras to match our model. Now, one of the easier thing to do is, let me just adjust the camera a bit first, then I'll tell you what the easier method is. Actually, the easier method is pretty simple. I am going to try and match the base of the nose with the base of the ear so that we'll know that we are actually correctly matching the proportions. And as you can see, I have added the 3D cursor at the base of the ear, and now that 3D cursor is gonna act as our pivot point. And when we'll scale the camera, you're gonna see that the camera actually moves on the x-axis, right? You can see that the camera is moving on the x-axis. Now it might seem that the camera is scaling, but it doesn't really affect the camera. It basically affect the origin, and that is what we want. Now using the 3D cursor as a pivot point, you can see that I am moving the camera and rotating it and scaling it. So yeah, this is basically what the workflow is going to be. I am going to be using this 3D cursor as a pivot point and gonna try my best actually to match the camera with the model. And if in the end, obviously, because this model is not like proportionally accurate to our references, this model is not gonna be 100% matched with the image. So what we're gonna have to do in the future, we're gonna have to sculpt a little bit so that we can actually match the proportions. And yeah, right now I'm just gonna try my best to match the model with what we have. So base of the ear with the base of the nose is basically what I'm going with. And yeah, as you can see, I am kind of adjusting it on the z-axis so that the rotation of our model is correct to the reference that we have. As you can see, the base of the nose is what I'm matching right now. Yep. I sometimes gonna run out of things to say because some of the things is pretty repetitive. And yeah, I am still gonna try my best to, say some stuff that would be important for you to understand. In this case, I think I am gonna do a little bit of sculpt. Yes, as you can see that I'm in sculpt mode, so I am just gonna adjust the eyes because the eyes were pretty low down, and it would be pretty hard for us to match these eyes without having to, correct the proportion of our model. So I am kind of correcting the proportions of our model right now so that it would be easier for us to match the whole face. And yeah, this is what I'm doing. As you can see, I am also gonna change the mouth, like the position of the mouth. I'm not sculpting anything, I'm just changing the proportion so that it would match the reference a bit better. There isn't really a whole lot of sculpting going on. I'm just gonna move around some stuff. As you can see, like I'm not adding volume or anything, like I'm not doing proper sculpting, I'm just matching the proportions from the side view. Okay, so I am also adjusting the jaws because why not, right? I'm seeing something that is off proportion, so I'm just gonna do that. Now, the ears, obviously, we're gonna have to adjust the ears. Like right now, I don't really think that I have anything to say. I am just not adding, but fixing the proportions from the side view. Obviously, the head itself is not like fixed. You can see that we need to push back the head a bit, but yes, the position is gonna be a bit better. As you can see that I've drawn this line to show you that the distance between the ear and the back of the head is not enough in our model, but yeah, it was kind of more in the reference. So that's not the concern right now. The concern is to just add the cameras and to proportionally match the camera with our image. So as you can see, I am trying to rotate the camera a bit so that it would be easier for us to match it a bit better. Now this is totally judgmental actually. Maybe you'll be able to judge it a bit better than me, and I might be able to judge it a bit better than you. But yes, right now I'm just adjusting the proportions. There isn't really sculpting going on. I mean, it is also sculpting what I'm doing right now, but you can see that I'm not really adding any sort of volumes or any sort of forms. I am just adjusting the shape and I am just adjusting the proportion. There isn't really anything special going on. Yeah, after that, I am gonna start adding more cameras actually once I am done with that. But yeah, let's see what else I am gonna do. You know, in cases like this, I'm just gonna run out of the words, when run out of the words to say. So I'm just gonna start saying some random stuff like I'm saying right now. Just for the sake of doing a voiceover, I'm just doing a voiceover. But yes, right now I've just duplicated the camera, and now I'm just gonna add a front view. Again, the 3D cursor is going to be the pivot point, and I am gonna, match the nose first, and then I can just rotate the model to match the reference. And there is one of the cool thing that I wanna show. If you were to just look at the corner of the eyes, like the outer corner of the eyes, you can see which one is higher and which one is lower, and by that you can figure it out. As you can see, the left eye corner is a little bit lower than the right one. Through this method, you can figure out if the head is completely straight or not, and then you can do the same thing with your own head actually. So first thing first, we need to rotate it on the z-axis because the model was looking on the right side from our perspective. And now I am just gonna do the same thing. First thing first, I am gonna match the nose. As you can see, the nose is actually kind of matched. And now let me just scale the model. I'm not scaling the model actually, I'm just moving the cameras a bit forward. If I were to say scaling the model, I'm not like actually scaling the model, I'm adjusting the camera. So this is kind of important, and as you can see, I am like matching the corner of the eyes. Like we've seen that the left eye of the character was a little bit lower in the reference, so I am doing the same thing right now. I am trying to rotate him on the y-axis, and by him again the camera, I'm just keep on saying him, but it was actually the camera that I'm rotating, not the model itself. Because if you were to rotate the model instead of the camera, it's gonna just mess up the symmetry, and we don't want that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Again, I am running out of words, but as you can see, I am kind of adjusting him on the z-axis to make him more accurate, like match him better. So this is what I'm doing. I am gonna scale the head, I think, on the x-axis now, because I think, yep, as you can see, I'm doing that. I am gonna scale him on the x-axis because I think the head was a bit more narrow than it should be. And I have also adjusted the transformation, or maybe I'm gonna do it now. Yep. I am gonna do it later. Right now, I'm just adjusting the head itself and not. Wait, I've just rotated it, right? I think I have rotated it. Yeah. I need to go back to the zero rotation. Make sure you never rotate your model like I'm doing it again. I am okay. This is actually a bit embarrassing. I'm gonna say it first. I should not be doing it. Maybe right now I'm not really focusing. Actually, not focusing, but it just doesn't. Yeah. I have rotated the model. You should not be doing that. And yeah, I've just undooed it. As you can see, I have undooed the whole rotation thing, because you are not supposed to rotate the model. You can scale it, don't even transform it actually, you can scale it and then apply the scale. But yes, now let's add the third fourth view, and again I'm gonna add the 3D cursor at the base of the nose. This is like the easiest way to do it actually. Just add the 3D cursor at the base and then just add it, not add it, but match it. I'm keep on saying add it. I don't know why, but yeah, match the nose. And as you can see, the distance between the nose and the outer part of the cheek is basically what I'm looking at while rotating him on the z-axis. So these are some of the stuff that I look at pretty constantly to see how much of the rotation is needed on the z-axis and how much of the cheek area is visible. So yeah, these are some of the things that I look at, and right now I think I might need to adjust the mouth. Actually, not the mouth. You can see that we need to rotate him on the y-axis because if you were to look at the corner of the eyes, like I'm doing right now, this is actually so useful to do. You can see that the right eye is supposed to be a bit above, which actually is, but it's a bit too above. So we need to adjust that. I am gonna, just lock maybe because yeah, I'm just gonna lock the model. And as you can see, I am gonna try and adjust the eyes similarly, like the corner of the eyes, as you can see, like the outer corner, right? And I think this is actually one of the most useful thing that I feel like I do whenever I am adding the camera. But yeah, now this is basically what I am gonna do with multiple of the cameras. I'm just gonna add the 3D cursor at the bottom of the nose, and then I'm just gonna try my best to match it with the reference. Again, you won't be able to match it 100% accurately because obviously we have not sculpted him yet, and there's gonna be one more problem, and that is we are not gonna be able to match the cameras 100% accurately because of the focal length. We don't know what the focal length has been used. I mean, we can guess, but it's not gonna be 100% accurate. So we're gonna have to use our eyes. We're gonna have to use our judgmental skills and the brain to see how much of the character need to be adjusted in terms of likeness. We cannot rely on the cameras 100%, and you're going to see that in the future we won't be able to match the cameras 100% accurately because of the focal length and because of all the human error factors. I mean, this is something you need to accept, that these cameras that we are adding, I am going to tell you, it is going to make our workflow a bit easier, but still you're going to have to rely on your eyes, you're going to have to rely on your brain, your judgmental skills to actually do the likeness. And you're going to see in the future that I usually just go out of the camera view and just look at the reference on the side to match him. And yeah, right now I'm just repeating the process actually. That's why I'm not really commentating on what I'm doing because this process is basically the same. I am just adding the cameras, and I am just gonna be using the same method, just adding these images, put the cursor at the base of the nose, and then just just match the base of the nose, and then just adjust the camera. So this is what we've been doing, and that's why I'm not really commentating on what I'm actually doing right now. As you can see, the distance between the nose, like the outer part of the nose and the outer part of the cheek, this is one of those things that I actually look at to match him on the z-axis. And yeah, again I am matching the corner of the eyes. As you can see in the reference, the I think the left eye is a bit lower, or maybe they are actually equal. I think they're kind of equal, so I also need to make sure in the camera I have the equal, like the corner of the eye needs to be equal on our model as well. So these are some of the methods that I use to match the cameras, and I don't know how many I have already added, but again, this is a repetitive process, and also this is one of those part where I just run out of words to say because I think I've already explained you everything, the process that we are doing, and how we are gonna approach in the future. You cannot obviously rely 100%, and I've already told you that. But yeah, right now I'm just trying my best to match the cameras. As you can see, like I'm rotating the model in every and each and every way possible to match him as best as I possibly can. Okay, now what we want to do, because we have so many cameras, we need to assign these cameras onto the marker so that we can actually use our arrow key to just switch between the frames, and that switching between the frame is just gonna change the view. So in order to assign the cameras to the markers, we need to add the markers first, and then you can just bind the cameras. As you can see, Control B is the shortcut key, and you can see that the camera name have been written on the marker, and that way you know that the marker have been assigned to the cameras. Also, the marker have been changed to the cameras. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding the marker with the M, and then I'm just pressing Control B to bind the cameras. This is pretty simple actually. So I am just gonna do that with every single one of them. I'm just gonna press M, Control B, M, and Control B. So yeah, you can see with just the arrow keys on the keyboard, I can just change the view whenever I want. Now, because the video is gonna end, I am gonna see you in the next one where we are actually gonna continue doing this matching and sculpting stuff. So yeah, see you in the next one.